Hello, everyone, and welcome to Down Bad, the self-help podcast where I, Jody Johnson, talk about everything mental health related, from the challenges that we face to the celebrations that take place. On the show, I use my vulnerability in hopes that the more we as humans talk, share, and work together, the more we make mental health care accessible and acceptable for every single human being out there. This journey is yours and no one else's. Not your mom's, your dad's, your siblings, your significant others, your neighbors, no one's. It's yours every single step of the way. So thanks for being here and staying true to yourself, even in times of uncertainty and discomfort. New episodes release every Thursday.
JFK once said that conformity is the jailer of freedom and the enemy of growth. So why in the fuck should we be ordinary when we were born to be different? Hello everyone, I'm Jody motherfucking Johnson, the host of Down Bad, and welcome back listeners, or welcome if you're a first timer. If you didn't already know, I'm a black man talking about mental health and personal struggles. I swear a lot while trying to give educational content. I wear what I want because it's an expression of self. You know, I reject a lot of this shit that society places on us because I refuse to conform. But what I want you guys to know is that refusing to conform is not just an act of rebellion, it's a conscious choice for self-expression and personal growth. So, within this episode, I want you guys to reflect on moments in your lives when you felt pressure to conform. And if you're willing and able, please share these thoughts with me on social media or within the comments section. If you're a frequent listener to the podcast, then you know that I often talk about how society, family, friends, and social media create sort of this invisible expectation for us to fit in. There's trends, whether it's fashion, technology, or just the life choices that we're making, that all promote the idea that happiness is going to come from material goods. We even have invisible expectations for our career paths or success. You're told from an early age you have to be a doctor, a lawyer, or an engineer. Otherwise, you're not going to make any money in this life. You got to attend the best schools in the country. You have to land the best internships and climb the corporate ladder so that one day you can get fucked in the ass way less than the people. Sorry, I'm diving way too deep into this topic. There's an expectations for your relationships and relationship norms, I am behind on the invisible timeline. I'm 22. I'm no longer in a relationship. I really need to start thinking about marriage. And not too long after that, I need to start thinking about children. Really? On whose timeline? Mine or everybody else's? The expectations for body image and then, beauty standards, advertisements, social media, fitness culture. I am so sorry, women. We're setting these very powerful and unrealistic standards, and we're getting to a point where men aren't immune to these anymore. The age where we're at with social media and technology, men aren't immune to these standards anymore. There's peer pressure and the need to fit in. Dress a certain way, speak a certain way, behave in a certain way. In my adolescence, I kind of always wanted to fit in. Never again. Never, ever again. There's a fear of not meeting the mark. The only marks that I miss are judged by God, not by anybody else. There's invisible expectations, how you look, your career, relationships, social status. And all of these pressures can be subtle, but also very, very overwhelming. But the goal, and what I want to express to you guys, is that you need to stay true to yourself by not conforming to the expectations and external validations of other people. There is an illusion of normal because we've been conditioned to be the same. We're humans. We intrinsically want to belong and we want to be accepted. Not only do we fear judgment, but we also lack self-confidence. As a black man, I'm actively disrupting the stereotypical narratives about black identity, especially in relation to mental health. I'm breaking norms. I'm fostering vulnerability. I'm confronting the lack of representation. Do you get it yet? And let's stay on the message of stay true to yourself for a minute. Stay true to yourself is something that I was told by my friend JQ in college. The message has since been a staple of Down Bad and what I want to give to other people. Because staying true to yourself is a profound act of personal growth. So we'll think of a celebrity here, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Look at his personal and professional growth just from staying true to himself. His path was predetermined, first as a football player and then as a professional wrestler in the WWE. And early on, he was known as the tough guy. But as he started to expose his true self, showing his charisma, his sense of humor, his vulnerability, it helped him stand out. He began to open up about different struggles like depression, failure, and challenges in his life. And you just got to see how human Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson actually was. You also probably got to see the hundreds of movies that he's been in since, we were young. But now our tough guy is still Maui in Moana 2. So you can just tell that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is someone who freed himself and unlocked his full potential, because not only is he able to connect with that tough guy audience of men, but now he's able to connect with children who look up to him and see him as Maui, And that's just a tiny example. There's so many examples of people who have done that in this life. And I shared Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson with you because, that's a good example. There's key values of staying true to yourself, like increased self-awareness. When you embrace who you truly are, when you identify not only your strengths, but your weaknesses and your values, you're able to make decisions that align with your truth and your purpose. You can create real, authentic relationships because you're attracting people who appreciate and respect you for who you truly are. This in itself fosters deep, genuine connections because you're not pretending to be someone who you're not. You're building resilience because you have the courage to face challenges head on. You're less afraid to be vulnerable and less shaken by criticisms or setbacks. You're able to have creative expression, thinking outside of the box. You express what is uniquely yours. And I think we forget a lot of the time that freedom unlocks possibilities in your personal and professional life. So we always wonder why people would want to come over to America. That's one of the biggest reasons. Because not only are you able to unlock, possibilities in your professional life, you're able to do it in your personal life as well. And that leads me to the next value of overall happiness. You're not living in conflict with yourself. You're not pretending to be someone you're not. You're not suppressing yourself in order for you to fit in. Your choices are just a reflection of you resonating with those values and desires that you have for yourself. Refusing to conform actually can help you build self-confidence and a sense of independence. You're establishing your authenticity to give yourself a clear sense of direction of where you want to go. You build resilience by not being reliant on external factors and external validation. You embrace uncertainty by not being afraid of the unknown, by actually being open and curious to, what the future could hold for you. You're someone who takes risks by developing courage and self-trust. You reimagine success by basing it on your own values and nobody else's. You give yourself freedom from comparison because, after all, comparison is the thief of joy. And you strengthen your internal motivation because the fire within you will fuel your perseverance. Nobody can do the work for you. But how can this kind of mindset change the way that you interact with the world and your goals? Well, you're making more empowered choices. You stop reacting to the pressures and you respond with clarity of what you actually want and or need. And you're making these goals more meaningful to you. You have greater creativity. You're approaching challenges with an open mind. And if I learned anything from my undergraduate experience, if I learned anything from college, it's that a great trait in cognitive psych is having great creativity, having an open mind, because you don't box yourself in. You're dynamic and adaptable. You find alternatives and unconventional solutions to problems that everybody is trying to repeat the same steps in. You develop stronger boundaries by engaging with people in a more authentic way because you're less likely to overcommit yourself to others. Your goals are more aligned, in other words. You're more selective in what you're pursuing because the things that you're doing have to align with your values and what you believe that your purpose is. There's long-term satisfaction involved with this because you're less reactive to external circumstances and instead you have a strong internal compass. You get to redefine failure. Failure is an opportunity for growth. Achieving your goals is flexible and adaptable to you because you have to reach them somehow. By shifting your mindset, it's going to help you better interact with the world and your goals. So rather than seeking external validation, you can shift to success, creativity, and finding your own place in this world. So how about we jump into the portion of the podcast where we talk about some myths of nonconformity. The first myth being nonconformity means rejecting all norms. When in reality, nonconformists don't reject all norms, just the ones that conflict with their values and beliefs. You can still follow norms that align with personal choices while challenging other values. Myth number 2 is that nonconformists are always eccentric or weird. First of all of us are weird. No matter what you think, does anybody else get to see you 24 hours, 7 days a week? No, you're the only person that gets to do that. Everybody does weird shit. But the reality is that nonconformity does not require outward eccentricity. It can manifest as subtle, intellectual, or unconventional thinking, not necessarily dramatic behavior or appearance. The third myth is that nonconformity means rebellion for the sake of rebelling, when that's not true at all. Nonconformists are often motivated by personal principles, a desire for authenticity, or the pursuit of change. Someone's nonconformity is driven by their deeper beliefs, not by the need to oppose just for opposition's sake. The fourth myth is that nonconformity leads to failure, when in reality, nonconformists are the reason that we are where we are today, because they are the ones that often innovate, adapt, and find success in unexpected ways. Me personally, I am both an extrovert and an introvert, and I'm very, very good at managing whether I need to recharge with or without people. Nonconformists are not antisocial. Without them, we wouldn't be here. Myth number 6 is that nonconformity means disregarding tradition or authority, when that's not true at all. Nonconformity is about questioning and reevaluating traditions and authorities, not just blatantly rejecting them and saying, fuck rules, fuck authority, fuck your traditions. It's not about that. Nonconformists may still respect traditions and authorities that align with their values, but they engage with them critically. And, what's so wrong with thinking for yourself? You don't have to follow the herd always. Myth number 7 is that nonconformity is an act of defiance. But the truth is, nonconformity can just be about creativity, exploration, and seeking new ways of living or thinking, not necessarily about defying or protesting established systems. Myth number 8 is that nonconformity is a form of narcissism. Holy shit, we would have a lot more of diagnosed narcissists if this were truly the case. A lot of people would not be able to talk online or on TV. But the truth is that nonconformity is often about authenticity and living in alignment with your own personal values, and not about seeking attention or admiration from other people. Many nonconformists are driven by a desire to create positive change or to be true to themselves. Myth number 9 is that nonconformity is an easy path, but that's not true at all, because nonconformity often involves challenges like criticism, social isolation, or rejection. It requires strength, resilience, and a willingness to endure discomfort in order to stay true to one's own mission, one's own purpose, one's own principles. Nonconformity is the road less traveled on. It by no means is the easier path. And the 10th and final myth that I'm going to give to you guys is that nonconformity is incompatible with success, when in reality, Many nonconformists achieve success, but they refuse to follow the beaten path that people continuously walk. Innovation, creativity, and leadership often emerge from challenging the status quo, whether that's in business, art, war, sport, or social movements, whatever you can think of. Now, I'm not a fucking idiot. I understand that in our societies, we need a certain level of conformity to function: rules, etiquette, social cohesion. I just don't like the extremes, the blind conformity or excessive conformity, because there still is downsides to conformity. Ones that are much deeper than making life seem dull or mundane or predictable. There's the loss of identity. Blindly following societal standards, how you look, think, or behave, it can cause you to lose touch with who you are and what makes you actually unique as a human being. Because you prioritize fitting in over your actual values, your passions, and your desires. There's burnout and resentment because the emotional and mental toll of trying to live up to external expectations, that's going to drive you to exhaustion, both emotionally and mentally. And lastly, there's missed opportunities because excessive conformity can be the reason that you fit in way too well with the crowd and miss these opportunities because you're not standing out. You're doing all of these things because you're quote unquote supposed to, but you're not getting the opportunities that you want to get with the work that you're putting in because you're supposed to. No, you're closing off new possibilities. You're missing out on self-discovery, new skills, exciting new paths that can lead you to personal fulfillment. Sometimes you have to step outside of the box and do something different. Because to not even know the doors that you could open that are currently covering so many hidden opportunities, damn it, be you. And you can start today by embracing your true, authentic self. Step number 1, write these down. Store them in your memory bank. Get comfortable with discomfort. One of the hardest parts, no doubt about it, about embracing who you are is the discomfort that comes with it. But the truth is, the discomfort is a part of life. I'm not always comfortable with who I am. I'm not often comfortable with who I am. But if you are, you're someone who's playing it safe. You're not playing it right. We grow by challenging our fear because it's either we're fearful or we're not. There's really only one or the other that you can be at all times. Vulnerability is a strength for us, not a weakness. Trouble don't last always. It will pass. Step number 2, find your tribe. As I said earlier, you have to be yourself because if you're not, you're going to attract the wrong people. You want to be surrounded by people who celebrate you for being you. And you may not have met your people yet. You might not have your tribe yet. That's okay. You might still have to step outside of your comfort zone to find those people. But I promise that your tribe, your people, are out there. And if you have yours, by God, don't let it go. Step number 3, redefine success. Success is a personal definition, not a one-size-fits-all standard set by society. What does success mean to you? That's the question that I'm currently asking you. So listen, pay attention. What does success mean to you? Is it money? Is it power? Is it external validation? Or is success a life that feels true to your values and your passions? Guys, it is so important to learn to love yourself and accept yourself for who you truly are, with your flaws, your imperfections, with fucking everything, every part of who you are. And someone that I have to thank for my knowledge in loving and accepting myself is Tara Brach, because in her writings, she's someone that's reminded me to embrace every part of myself. So that's what I want to share with other people. Embrace every part of yourself. Everything that you are is enough. Accept fully. No judgment, no shame, no guilt. Give yourself permission to grow at your own pace. You don't see trees getting fucking mad at themselves. You don't see the grass getting pissed off because it's brown. It just is. It just does. It doesn't go away forever. It comes back. Love yourself for who you are today and be unapologetically fucking different. Don't conform. Oh, okay. I guess we're coming towards the end of another episode, but we did take a deep dive into the power of refusing to conform, challenging societal expectations and embracing your true authentic self. We discussed the subtle but overwhelming pressures to fit in, from our career paths and body image to relationship norms and social status. Common myths about nonconformity and practical tips on how to embrace your true authentic self. So I hope that you guys enjoyed the episode. Stop fucking apologizing for who you are and embrace your authenticity. Start living for yourself and be unapologetically fucking different. Next episode, I'm either going to talk about SAD or do a Philly Marathon recap. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. I'm not conforming by not sharing what I'm going to talk about next week. But anyways, thank you guys for tuning in this week. Thank you guys for your time. Leave a 5-star review if you enjoyed the episode. Send it to a friend that you think might benefit from listening to the episode. Subscribe or follow the channel on whatever you're listening to this on. And if you're willing and able, please donate to my fundraiser with Team Active Minds to promote and spread awareness for mental health, especially among young adults, because last Sunday I just ran the Philadelphia Marathon, my first marathon ever, in 3 hours and 34 minutes. But anyways, this is just the beginning, so stay tuned for those updates about what I have in the future of marathon running. But again, link to donate to my fundraiser is in the show notes of the episode or in my Instagram bio. And if you'd like to stay up to date with me on socials, Down Bad a Podcast is on Instagram. My personal Instagram and YouTube are Jody MF Johnson. And my Insta bio, like I just said, is my link tree with all my links to everything. So as always, thank you guys for being here. Be kind to your mind, your body, and the earth. See you next time.